Welcome back. All right, so we're going to take a look at the Chicago Blackhawks as the season previews roll along. This is, I believe, the 11th. That being said, the Chicago Blackhawks, when we look back to 2014-2015 and we tally up the numbers between then and now, Patrick Kane as their leading scorer over that period, 689 games, not 689 goals, 283 goals, 490 assists, 773 points. Jonathan Toews is second on the list, 626 games, 193 goals, 288 assists, 481 points. Alex DeBrincat's actually third, 377 games, 162 goals, 151 assists, 313 points. Duncan Keith, 548 games, 46 goals, 241 assists, 287 points. Brent Seabrook, 467 games, 48 goals, 142 assists, 190 points. Brandon Saad, 334 games, 95 goals, 88 assists, 183 points. Marian Hossa, 258 games for him, 68 goals, 93 assists, 161 points. Artemi Panarin, 173 games, 63 goals, 96 assists, 159 points. Artem Anisimov, 302 games, 80 goals, 78 assists, 158 points. And Dylan Strome rounds out the top 10, 234 games, 62 goals, 95 assists, 157 points. Their top 5 goaltenders over that same period in terms of wins, Corey Crawford, 145, 103, and 24 being his record. Scott Darling, 39, 17, and 9. Peter Mrazek, 28, 53, and 7. Kevin Lankinen, 25, 29, and 11. And Marc-Andre Fleury's on the top 5. Or in the top 5, I should say, 19, 21, and 5 record. Now, the last 5 seasons, when you look at points percentage, they're 30th in the league at 411. They've been bad for a while now. Goals for per game, they're 30th with 2.58. Goals against per game, 27th at 3.43. Power play, 17.7%, which is 28th overall. The penalty kill, 77.4%, which is 25th overall. And of course, the season they just finished, it's not better there either. 317 points percentage, which was 31st in the National Hockey League this year. Their goals for per game, 2.17. That's dead last in the National Hockey League. Goals against, they're 29th with 3.52 goals against per game. Their power play, 16.6%, which was 28th overall. Their penalty kill, 75.8%. 27th overall. So special teams, goals for, goals against. There really wasn't a bright spot for this team other than the fact that when Connor Bedard was healthy in the lineup, he played pretty well. He led the team in scoring this past season with 22 goals, 39 assists, 61 points in 68 games, and a Calder Trophy. Look for his numbers to go up. Kurashev, 75 games, 18 goals, 36 assists, 54 points. Foligno, 74 games, 17 goals, 20 assists, 37 points. Jason Dickinson, bit of a resurgence for him in his career. 82 games, 22 goals, 13 assists, 35 points. Tyler Johnson, who's still a free agent currently, 67 games, 17 goals, 14 assists, 31 points. Seth Jones, 67 games, 8 goals, 23 assists, 31 points. He'll be looking for more points this season. Ryan Donato, 78 games, 12 goals, 18 assists, 30 points. Joey Anderson, 55 games, 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points. Alex Vlasic, 76 games, 2 goals, 14 assists, 16 points. And Lucas Reichel, 65 games, 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points. Reichel looking for that next gear from him. Now, their top 2 goaltenders this past season, Mrazek, 18, 31, and 4. 908 save percentage, which honestly pretty high considering the defense in front of him. 1 shutout for Mrazek. And Soderblom went 5, 22, and 2 with an 880 save percentage. So no shutouts there. And it looks like he's been replaced in the offseason by Brossoit. But we'll go through the depth chart and discuss it. Now, for Rookie Watch, with all of the veterans they've signed and added in this offseason, there isn't really a spot for a pure rookie to play right now. But I went with Frank Nazar, who looked decent in the few games he played. And I added Lev Shunov because Lev Shunov was their number 2 draft pick this year. He did sign an entry-level contract. Why not throw him on the board? So your top 12 forwards on this team, Tyler Bertuzzi being added should help with the anemic offense that they've had. Connor Bedard, and then Teuvo Teravainen. So I've seen some Hawks fans getting excited about the additions. I will say this, they shouldn't be 32nd in goals for, but they're not going to make like this huge leap forward, I don't think, on the ice this year. That would put on the second line Nick Foligno, Andreas Athanasiou, and Philip Kurashev in all likelihood. Third line, then, I've got Taylor Hall, Jason Dickinson, and Ilya Mikheyev, who has not had puck luck at all in Vancouver, so maybe the move to Chicago will help him with that. He's still got the speed. The talent is there. The puck just hasn't been going in the net. Which puts a fourth line out there of Lucas Reichel, Ryan Donato, and potentially Craig Smith as well. So, again, a lot of veterans, older team, but there are still some spots here for rookies if they play really well. We'll see what happens. The extras, I've got Cole Gutman, Colton Dock, Pat Maroon. So Maroon signs here in the offseason. Very likely to end up playing some fourth line minutes here. Brett Seney, Zach Sanford, Landon Slaggert, who got into some games this past season, and Joey Anderson ends up on the extras list after playing most of the season for Chicago this past year. Their top six on the blue line, Alex Vlasic, Seth Jones. Vlasic, of course, gets this big contract in the offseason. Now he gets to live up to that. Alec Martinez added in the offseason too. Connor Murphy, Kevin Korchinski, and TJ Brody. So there's some veterans on this team. They should be better than what they were this past season. I don't know how much, but we shouldn't see them getting blown out, and games should be a little closer for them. The extras, I have Louis Crevier. I think Crevier has a good chance of being the first one called up on the blue line in the event of injury. Isaac Phillips, Wyatt Kaiser, Ethan Del Mastro, Nolan Allen, and there's Artyom Levshunov there as well. In net, of course, Peter Mrazek and Laurent Brossoit. Brossoit, pretty good in Winnipeg this past season. Pretty good in Vegas before Vegas let him go to Winnipeg. So maybe he gets into some more games and Mrazek gets some more nights off this season. Extras, Arvid Soderblom, seen here with his .880 save percentage. Probably going to be down in Rockford alongside Drew Comesso. So one thing with all of these veteran additions, it should lead to a better team in Rockford. They should have a pretty good AHL team this year. Their cap space currently shows as $6,677,500, according to Puckpedia. I'm not getting into the cap side of things as much because I feel like when I did those videos just looking at teams' off seasons, I discussed the whole cap situation every team was in a lot. And so I wanted to make sure in doing the season previews, I wasn't really repeating what I had done last month. Their schedule in October, they've got 4 away, 4 home, and then 3 away. So if they do well in that road trip, maybe they build up decent records for the first 8 games, and then who knows. November, 7 out of 12 games are on the road. In February, right around that Four Nations Cup, they have 1 away, 2 home, 1 away. Then you have the Four Nations Cup, 1 away, 1 home, and 2 away. So no long road trips or homestands there. And in April, to round out the season, 5 of their final 8 games are on the road. So for Chicago, a team that's not likely to be in the hunt for a playoff spot this year, still, the schedule's not really that much of an impediment to their odds. But their odds currently show as plus 22,000 for them to win the Stanley Cup. So don't do that. They're not going to win the Cup this year, so it's just throwing away money. First place votes. So the channel vote, over 12,000 votes for this one so far. 2% have voted them to be first or second. So I'm guessing diehard Blackhawks fans are just people to mess with polls. You're going to have that. 3% say third or fourth. So that's 5% that voted them in the top 4. And then 23% say 5th or 6th, and 72% say 7th or 8th. And it's highly likely they end up 7th or 8th in the division, but they should be better than they were this past season. I would say closer to that 411 that they have as an average for the last 5 seasons than that 317 from last year. I think that'll be the low point going forward, and we'll start seeing this team build itself up a little bit. But we've seen that this team doesn't have a problem attracting free agents. I think it's a squad that players like playing for. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about what you expect from the Chicago Blackhawks this season. Do you think they're going to get closer to a playoff spot? Do you think that they're, is Bedard going to end up in that 85-plus point range? Because, again, you've got Bertuzzi and Teravainen here. These guys know how to put up points. That should be a big upgrade for Bedard over what he was playing with this past season. Taylor Hall coming back, of course, if he can be 100%, maybe he puts up some points. And again, for a team that finished dead last in goals for this past season, there really isn't anywhere to go but up offensively. And if they can keep the goals against down, who knows? And we know that Mrazek and Brossoit are a good goaltending tandem. So let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe in the event you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.